Hello boys and girls, welcome back to another English language lesson for grade 7. I'm your teacher, Sir Jared. Today we want to look at summary writing, more specifically choosing main ideas. Let's dive in. Now, what is a summary? A summary is a short restatement of the main idea and important details in a piece of writing or another work. It is a short restatement of the main idea and important details in a piece of writing or another work. Now let's think about the movie Home Alone Part 1. If someone is to ask you, for those of you who've watched that movie, what really happened in that movie? Would you take 2 hours to tell them what occurred in that movie? No, you won't. You'll probably take a minute, 2, if you really like talking, 3 minutes, sometimes 5. But what you'll do, you will explain to them the main things that occurred in the movie. Or you will just tell them the things that you remember, because the things you remember, those are the things you liked about the movie. And that's a summary. Now let's look at some summary tips. Identify and tell only the main points or elements. So when it comes to summary writing, we just want the points that are important, nothing else. Write in your own words. So as much as possible that you can use your own words, go ahead and do that. Now we call it lifting when you take an entire sentence from the passage and write it back in your summary. It's called lifting, and you want to avoid doing that. You want to ensure that as much as possible you use your own words, but what? When you use your own words, it should not change the meaning of the original text, because remember, you're summarizing the text. Another tip, it is short and focused on a specific topic. So a summary cannot be longer than the passage you're summarizing, okay? And it cannot be about something that is not in the passage. It needs to be specific. Now let's examine the image you can see there on your screen. To summarize, retell the basic story elements in your own words. Don't include every event in the story. Now let's look at some words that you can use to guide you when you're summarizing. Somebody. When you think about somebody, who was the main character? Wanted. What did the character want? But what was the problem? So, how did the character try to solve the problem? Then, what was the solution to the problem? So you can use these points and these guiding questions when you are summarizing, especially if it's a story. Now let's look at an example here. So we have a passage, and as I read this passage and as you read it with me, I want you to try to identify the main points. The points that if you take them out of this passage, the passage will not be the same. It will lose its essence or part of its essence. The Taj Mahal is a beautiful monument built in 1631 by an emperor named Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. It is situated on the banks of River Yamuna at Agra. It looks beautiful in the moonlight. The Taj Mahal is made up of white marble In front of the monument, there is a beautiful garden known as the Shaba. Inside the monument, there are two tombs. These tombs are of Shah Jahan and his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. The Taj Mahal is considered as one of the 7 wonders of the world. Many tourists come to see this beautiful structure from different parts of the world. Now let's go this passage once again, because the first time we just read it to know what it's about. But let's go again, and this time I want you to be intentional about your reading. I want you to be as specific as possible, as detailed as possible. Let's go. The Taj Mahal is a beautiful monument built in 1631 by an emperor named Shah Jahan in memory of his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. It is situated on the banks of River Yamuna at Agra. It looks beautiful in the moonlight. The Taj Mahal is made up of white marble. In front of the monument, there is a beautiful garden known as the Shaba. Inside the monument, there are two tombs. These tombs are of Shah Jahan and his wife, Mumtaz Mahal. The Taj Mahal is considered as one of the 7 wonders of the world. Many tourists come to see this beautiful structure from different parts of the world. Can you identify 4 main points in this passage? Think about it. Now let's examine the 4 main points. Point number 1. Emperor Shah Jahan built the Taj Mahal in 1631 for his wife. And you're probably asking yourself, why is this point even important? It is important because it tells us when it was built, 1631, and why, for his wife. The second main point. The marble monument can be found in Agra. The marble monument can be found in Agra. And this is important because it tells us where this monument can be found. The third main point. It houses the tombs of the people. So if persons go to this monument, they say, what's really in this monument? Because it's different. I've never seen a monument like this before. They would know, because it's there, it houses the tomb of the couple. It houses the tombs of the couple, Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal. And the final main point, it is one of the 7 wonders of the world. For homework, I want you to research the 7 wonders of the world. And I can assure you, you'll be amazed because there's a reason they're called the 7 wonders of the world. Now, an activity for you. I want you to read this extract on pollution of the atmosphere. Before you make notes, reread the extract a few times. Focus on the main points and in point form, make your notes. Then write a paragraph using the points. Look at the factors responsible for pollution. Now we know the instructions are very important. Now let's look at the paragraph. polluting the atmosphere. Human activities release vast amounts of pollution every day. Exhaust fumes from 700 million motor vehicles worldwide, together with plumes of smoke and gases from industry, send a huge variety of pollutants into the atmosphere. The thick layer of pollution released by a large city can create a choking brownish gray smoke, especially when there is no wind to blow the pollutants away. Acid gases from factory chimneys and motor vehicles mixed with fog, rain, and snow can result in acid rain, which damages buildings and forests and kills fish. Some pollutants escape into the stratosphere and destroy the natural ozone gas that protects animals and plants from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. Now I want you to read this passage again, because remember, you want to ensure that you understand it. You can't summarize what you don't understand. So I want you to read this passage again quietly, and then we'll go through the steps that you need to take in summarizing this passage. Now that you've read this passage, one of the first things you want to do is to make a note of all of the main points. Because as stated in the instructions, you are looking at the what? The factors responsible for pollution. So as you read it again, that's where your attention should be. Let me look for the factors, and you make a note of them. Now, you need to express these points in a paragraph, because it's called summary writing. Now, in your paragraph, you want to ensure that it is structured. You have an introduction, your body, and conclusion. You remember, you want to use your own words as much as possible. So, go out and write this summary, and every opportunity you get to summarize a passage, practice it, because we use summary writing every single day. Now, I want to thank you for participating in class today. I hope you had a great time. And until we meet again, I'm Sir Jared, and I'm out.